Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I have a wonderful date night entree for you that is ready in like 30 minutes. No joke, it's elegant, it's delicious, and it's very easy to make. I'm going to teach you how to make my spinach and salmon wrapped in phyllo. It's going to have like a Spanakopita type filling with a nice juicy fillet of salmon inside and buttery flaky phyllo. You just can't beat it. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so if you're thinking about dining in and making something special for that special someone or for your family, this is the recipe for you. Let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. We're going to need some olive oil, salt, pepper, a garlic clove, some dried dill. You can use fresh dill if you like, Dijon mustard, this is feta cheese, and some softened cream cheese, some scallions that have been thinly sliced, also known as green onions, roughly chopped spinach leaves. We have some phyllo pastry that's thawed and at room temperature, some melted salted butter, and salmon fillets. These are 6-ounce fillets. They're about 1 inch in thickness. Today I'm using country style phyllo. You can use the regular phyllo, which is number 4, which are the thinner layers. That's fine. You're just going to need a few more. I'm going to use 2 layers per piece of fish, so for each parcel. If you're using the regular number 4 phyllo, you might need 3 or 4, however many you like. It just depends how many layers of phyllo you want in there. I really do like the hardiness of the country phyllo. It is the number 10 if you're going to be looking for it. Now that's out of the way. You also want to make sure that you thaw it out and it's at room temperature. So put it in your refrigerator overnight because it's sold frozen, and then take it out and leave it on the counter for about an hour or 2 before you work with it, and leave it in the plastic packaging. Now about the salmon, I buy the salmon fresh at the supermarket. If you're going to buy it from your fish market, then have your fishmonger take the skin off, because it's just going to take that extra step out of the way. If you buy from the supermarket and there's no one to take the skin off, it's really not that hard. All you're going to need is a sharp knife, and you're going to press under the skin and just pull and slice as you go. You might get a little bit of salmon off too. Just don't worry about it. Just be very careful not to cut yourself and not to butcher the fish as well. It's not that hard. It is just going to be a tiny bit messy if you do it on your own, but it can be done. It's very easy. Then you're going to cut the fish into about 6-ounce portions, and it should be about 1 inch thick. So try to get a nice juicy piece of fish. Now that's out of the way. We're going to begin by making the Spanakopita filling. So I have my scallions over here. I'm going to take them out of the water. Once you slice scallions, you want to put them in a bowl of cold water and swish it around with your hand, so that way all of the dirt that's trapped in there can sink down to the bottom. Then go ahead and take them out, and you can put them in a little strainer or do it over some paper towels and get that excess water out. Very easy. And then we're going to put it in a pan. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to it. 3 tablespoons of olive oil should be fine. And I'm going to cook them over medium heat until they're nice and soft. That's going to take 3 to 4 minutes. I'm just going to season them with a little bit of salt. And while that's happening, I'm just going to grate the garlic so it can be ready. After about 3 minutes, go in and add the grated garlic, and you're just going to warm it through just a few seconds. You don't want it to burn. And then immediately add the spinach. You could add half the spinach first, let it wilt down a little bit, and then go ahead and add the remaining spinach. I'm also going to add half a teaspoon of dried dill. And I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, just a little bit. And then just cook the spinach down until it has wilted completely and all of the liquids have cooked off. It's going to take about 4 to 5 minutes. Once the spinach wilts down and most of the liquid has evaporated, it's still going to be a little bit juicy, and you want it that way. You don't want it to dry up completely. This is good. This is the consistency that you're looking for. Then you're going to go in and add the softened cream cheese and just mix it in. Once you put it in the warm pan, the heat of it is going to soften it even more. Break it up and just mix it in there until everything is nice and smooth. This smells so good. You could even just take this filling and make a delicious appetizer of stuffed mushrooms with it. So delicious. Ah, that looks so good. Now it's time to crumble the feta on top and add it in. Once you crumble it and add it in, just fold it all together. Give it a taste and see if it needs more salt and pepper, and then the Spanakopita filling is done. That makes an amazing dip as well. So many things to do with one recipe. So all I did was I separated into 4 little portions, because this amount of spinach filling is enough for 4 pieces of fish. to make 4 parcels. I'm gonna open up the pack of phyllo pastry. And also you wanna make sure that at this point you preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So you could definitely make these in the morning and leave them in your fridge and then bake them off right before you serve them. That would be a really good make ahead idea so you're not scrambling before dinner time. And before I start working, I'm gonna make sure that I season the fish on both sides with salt and pepper. You always wanna make sure that you season each and every step of the way so your food has maximum flavor. So now this is optional, but mustard does take it to the next level. It gives it a little bit of a tanginess which is needed to break the heaviness of the salmon and the spinach filling, which is really nice and creamy. All you're gonna do is on the back side of the fish, you're just gonna spread a little bit, maybe a teaspoon or more of mustard. It's up to you how mustardy you want it. If you don't like mustard, then I do suggest that you sprinkle some lemon juice on the back of the fish. That is also gonna help freshen everything up. Now I'm gonna take 1 sheet of phyllo at a time. We're gonna need 2 sheets per parcel. And I am using salted butter because again, I want there to be a lot of flavor in this. So go ahead and sprinkle some butter over the sheet and then brush it gently. And then put another sheet on top. And if it tears, really don't worry too much about it. It's fine. This is gonna get folded up so many times that any tear will just disappear. And then sprinkle some more butter on top and lightly brush. Then you're gonna take 1/4 of the spinach and put it in the center. Then you're gonna take 1 portion of the salmon and put it on top of the spinach. Fold the sides over. And each time you fold over, drizzle a little bit of butter so that everything is nice and buttery and it's gonna bake to be tasty and flaky. Fold over again, drizzle some butter. Fold the bottom up, just like that. Create a little package. And then place it on a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Let's do that one more time. So once you're done making your little parcels, go ahead and brush each and every one generously with the remaining melted butter. Put them in the oven on the center rack and let them bake for 15 minutes. Also, before you put them in the oven, you can sprinkle the tops with some salt and black pepper. That's optional, totally up to you. Let them bake for 15 minutes until they're nice and golden all around. Take them out of the oven and let them sit for 10-15 minutes before you serve them. I'll show you what they look like as soon as they come out. Once it comes out of the oven, it's gonna look beautifully golden and puffy and delicious, but you do wanna let it rest like we said before. Cut into it and you'll see the layers of the flaky fish perfectly cooked. The spinach is gonna be so nice and juicy. Now it is time to take a bite. Oh my God, so many textures, so much flavor. The phyllo is so crisp and crunchy from the bottom all the way around to the top. The fish is perfectly cooked and so flavorful. I love that little kick that the mustard gives. The spinach and feta filling is creamy and fresh and delicious tasting. You guys are gonna absolutely love this. Make sure you make this for your next date night or for a quick and easy family meal. Head on over to the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Print this recipe, and while you're there, go ahead and get my black-eyed pea salad recipe because that's a perfect side for this. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today, and I will see you all next time. Yes, us.